Oh, hi, Katie.
Oh, hi, Ryan.
How are you?
I'm doing really good. So today...
Ooh, you look so studious, by the way.
Well, thank you.
With your glasses and your folder.
I always look prepared, put together, and ready to go.
I mean...
As they say, stay ready so you never have to get ready.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think you stayed ready because when I showed up, Katie was a little upset because I showed up half an hour early.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this.
Yes, so, I mean, in fairness to me, last time I waited for a while to get my breakfast at a nearby fast food chain.
Just to give you every detail.
And so it took like half an hour to get the food last time, and all of a sudden now it took 8 minutes. So now I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go wait in Katie's driveway. But then I saw that Katie had her car here. So I was like, okay, she's probably ready. So I literally just walked into her house. Okay, what's your perspective?
Okay, like we spoke about this a little bit when you came in, and I was like, why are you here half an hour early, blah, blah, blah. Where I was coming from was like, I have never really believed in being fashionably late. I mean, if something starts, you should probably be there on time.
Yeah.
The only time I think you should be early for something is a job. So if
like a job interview?
A job interview or your job. Like if you're, your job starts at 9 a.m., you should be in the office ready to go by 1:45, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're not 15 minutes early or 10 pushing it, you're late.
Okay.
That's my approach. But other than that, the only time I think it's okay to be early is if you're maybe meeting like a friend in a space where you can kind of hang out on your own. Like, well, let's go to, the Keg for dinner. I was in the area, so I decided to sit at the bar and have a drink while I'm waiting because whatever, to kill time. But if you're going over to someone's house and you've agreed on a time to meet up, then adhering to that time, I think that's how I, like with my mom and everything kind of is if you're having a dinner party and you say guests arrive by 5, well, if you show up at 4:30, chances are I'm not ready. That's why I said 5, and then people feel rushed and, okay, I was going to do these last minute things, but now I don't want to like ignore my guests or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I get that. I mean, at the end of the day, I do like being early. I don't want to be late.
Yes.
That's a good quality. However, I understand.
It's a good quality, okay? We are reminding you.
I understand that your perspective. So
you understand my correct perspective.
So Katie, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about love languages. That's what this would say if I had chalk.
But we're on a budget.
We're on a budget. Duct tape was pushing it. So I actually love this. I kind of learned about this concept recently. I mean, for the most part, it's straightforward when you think about it, but reading it on paper, it made a lot of sense to me. So I really wanted to talk about it with you and kind of see what our listeners think about it. So basically the premise is that people there's 5 different love languages.
Okay.
And
you look like a love coach right now, by the way.
Oh.
Their glasses. Oh.
So that's more me. Okay, so it's like some people may have one of the love languages that really speaks to them, that makes like the most sense. And then other people can say, 3 of them are really important to me and the other 2 not so much. And so we're all different, obviously.
Yeah.
But what they say is understanding your personal love language so that you can communicate that with your partner. And this can even work in terms of a friendship. It doesn't have to be like the person you're dating. And also, if not more importantly, arguably, understanding that the love language of your said partner. So just getting my handy dandy file here. I'll read the 5 to you and we'll kind of go over them.
Okay.
Because when Ryan and I were talking about this earlier, we both kind of realized we're quite similar in what we look for and what we need.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. So there's words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So we'll kind of go through the most.
Let's go through each one.
Yeah, let's start with words of affirmation. So what does that mean to you?
Words of affirmation. So to me, that means the reassurance of, you look very handsome, or you look very beautiful. I'm so happy to be here with you. Whenever I see you, you make my day.
Yeah.
Like things
positive,
like
encouragement, praise.
And it's funny because the last guy that I was seeing seriously, he brought that up when like things weren't working out and basically he was breaking up with me. He told
Well, look where he's at now.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
He told me basically that like I always need affirmation and that's not him and blah, blah, blah. So it's interesting that we talk about this because I realized at first I was hard on myself and being like, why do I always need affirmation? And I kind of was judging myself about it. And it's interesting because you started making me think a whole different way a couple weeks ago when we talked about on an episode being clingy at times. And you said the right person is going to be proud of that. They're going to be happy that you're like that towards them. And I love that mindset because it's the same with the affirmation. That's obviously that's my love language. I want to be reminded that you think I'm attractive.
Absolutely.
And to you may think, well, it's obvious I'm with you. And I've been with guys like that where it's kind of like, well, I wouldn't be here with you.
Yeah, I don't need to tell you that I really like you. Like, I'm here with you. Like, obviously I do. And I think that's a huge one. I think that all of these 5 different love languages are so important, no matter what yours is or your few may be. But I think that if there's not like the appropriate conversation or communication about it, you can start to almost feel embarrassed that, you know, quality time is so important to you. And if you don't get it, then like maybe you are too clingy or you expect too much. And I think words of affirmation is a big one on that because that's one of my big love languages.
Same.
Is I love to be told like I love you and reminded of it, or like that was such a great date, or you look so pretty today. And obviously when you're in a relationship, or hopefully when you're in a relationship, you do already know that.
Of course.
But I am the kind of person where I like to hear that.
And be reminded of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So kind of getting to this overall premise of love languages is they say, you know, understanding your own love language is very important because then you really know what you need to tell your partner is important to you. But at the same time, you really need to understand your partner or your friendship, whatever. What they desire because they may be different. And a good example I can use, I had a friend, or I have a friend, and they're in a relationship, and she is one of those people that like words of affirmation are huge, right? Okay. And her boyfriend kind of had the opinion of like, she knows I love her. Like, I don't understand when I had to tell her all the time. Well, this is the thing, is that it's what she needs. Most people give the love that they want to receive. So if they're huge on physical touch, well, she knows I love her. I grab her butt all the time. Or I hold her hand whenever we're in public. Or I kiss her on the cheek. That's fantastic. And hopefully she knows that that's important to you. So she'll reciprocate it. But what makes her feel loved is the words of affirmation. So if both people, and I know everything's easier said than done, but if I go, for example, okay, he's really huge on acts of service, like doing the laundry,
like a boyfriend.
Like randomly, cleaning the house or going out doing a big grocery shop, like constantly showing like I'm present in this relationship and I'm consistent. But he really needs words of affirmation. If I'm meeting that and he's meeting the other, like whatever the example, that's going to be such a key ingredient to a healthy relationship, I think.
I think so. I think that you've got to balance each other out. And when we were talking about this episode, you made a really great point.
Well, duh.
that a lot of people may think, like you just mentioned, that the way that they like to be loved is their way of also showing love. Whereas you really should show the love that your partner wants
and needs,
and that they should do that back. And I think that's what this whole love language is about. And we're going to go through all of them to talk about what we personally like. Obviously, both of us really like the affirmation aspect. What was it? Sorry, words of affirmation. Is that
words of affirmation? Yeah.
Words of affirmation. And I think that now my question to you though is, with a partner, to be compatible, should they automatically show that type of love language towards their partner no matter what relationship they're in? Or is this something where they actually have to think about what kind of love language does their partner want and then they do it? Do you know what I mean? Is it something where you naturally come together with someone that complements your love language, or is it something where
I don't think so.
Really?
Well, I've said this.
Think about even Teen Mom though, with like Cole and
We don't watch that show.
we love that show with Cole and Chelsea.
Yeah.
They complement each other so well.
Well, absolutely, but I mean,
what?
There's like I've said this before. I'm not a big believer on opposites attract.
No,
like
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that you don't have to have everything in common. There's athletes that date people that have no interest in sports, but I think that in terms of like morals, and like approach to like, I don't know, it's gonna sound dramatic, but like humanity, like who you are in like your core and your foundation, I think they have to line up quite a lot in terms of your hobbies and the music you listen to or whatever. That I think can be different, but I don't necessarily think that if your love language is words of affirmation, sorry, my notepad's slipping, that it's okay, I've memorized it anyways. that you necessarily have to date someone that that's their love language as well, because there are 5 prominent ones. I think it's understanding whatever they are, whether they're the same or different, and meeting those.
Yeah, but my question is, does that happen naturally? Because I feel like the relationships that are going to last, you're going to each speak each other's love languages. Like my relationships that maybe haven't worked, maybe there's been other factors, but like also the guy even said like he's not that type of person to always give affirmation. Well, I'm someone that always needs affirmation.
Well,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure. I think that's when like open communication comes in. Like for example, in the beginning of a relationship, you're going to probably be doing all of these: words of affirmation, acts of service, giving gifts, and physical touch, and spending time. It's a new relationship. That's when basically everything's great. Now months go on or whatever, and no, I don't believe the honeymoon phase is over, but you've just, you're used to each other now.
Yeah.
You've merged your lives together.
Mm-hmm.
So now, for example, your boyfriend stops saying I love you as just spontaneously. Says it in a text message before bed. If you say I love you, they say I love you back. But maybe they're not doing it. That's when you say, that is important to me. That like resonates in a positive way to me, because they were already doing all those things in the beginning, because we usually do. That's why we start dating. And then it's like, hey, when you do hold my hand and stuff, like I know you don't do it as much now because we go grocery shopping all the time, but I want to hold your hand every time we go grocery shopping, even if we've been together for 10 years, because that physical touch is important to me. So yeah, I think that things will like dial down, like the longer you date someone and the more serious it gets. And then when those love languages maybe start to be put on the back burner, because maybe your partner doesn't know how important it is to be told that they love you, then
interesting,
you have that communication like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And then hopefully they make an active point of doing it more. And if they don't, well, then there's other issues, right?
Yeah.
So acts of service, is this important to you? So this is
explain this one. So this is the second one on the love languages, is acts of service. So
this is like actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
If you say you're gonna do something, I really hope you follow through with it. Like I personally love to do work around the house, like for me and my boyfriend, like we live together, and I think that I know it's something he really appreciates because he works crazy hours. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like from the 1950s doing the housework. It's not like that. It's just I finish work at like a reasonable time, like 5:30, and we live very close to where I work. So for me, I do have time to go home and empty the dishwasher and start on dinner and maybe throw a load of laundry in, because I have that time. Whereas he's not expecting me to do that, and that's not my responsibility, but he does work much later depending on the season for what he does, and sometimes he can work a lot later than he expects, like just because of how that day's gone on. And so I know he appreciates it when he comes home, and I've done it because I care. I also live there. It takes 2 to have a household or whatever, but so I know acts of service is a big one for him, and I think it's a big one for me as well. Like, I don't like to take out like the garbage necessarily, because we have a lot of it with all the animals and what he does. So we kind of have like big big garbage bags. And because we live on a farm, it's not like you just walk to the end of your driveway and put it there. It's a much bigger process.
Yeah.
And he knows that I'm not saying I won't do it, but I don't really like to. So he takes care of it.
But you do other things.
Other things, right?
Yeah,
So I think acts of service to us is both very important, and we know, like, I know what I can do and he knows what he can do. He can what he does well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a big one for me. And that doesn't mean being bossy and giving people errands and chores, but it's like, why wouldn't I do this? I have the time and I'm here, and I know that person will love that.
I think I agree with you, and I think that that's a huge one for me too in a relationship, because I truly do believe that actions speak louder than words. You can tell me I'm beautiful all day, and I mean, I'll take it. I love it.
Because he is.
Thank you. But I also feel as though you've got to show your love through the things that you do. Right? And like, I think that this also ties in, I could be wrong, but you know, maybe you come home from a long day at work and your partner had a half day, or they just are home earlier than you and they maybe set up a nice bath with bubbles and candles and, you know, like something like that where it shows, or a nice dinner.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like something that you kind of come home and you're like, oh, like you didn't have to do that. And you have to do it all the time. If you did it all the time, it would lose its kind of
sentiment.
Yeah.
But you know, and that ties in exactly about what this whole study and what these articles are getting.
Study.
Well, I believe so. Don't quote me on
that.
I
don't know. Yeah.
It's like I know that there's obviously someone, like an author behind this.
There must be something behind it. Yeah.
And like I said before, it's kind of straightforward when you think about it.
Yeah.
But it's actually going, no, I'm not just going to brush this over. I'm going to actually think about this, because this, I think, is the foundation and the building blocks to a healthy relationship. And you can apply this to your relationship with your mother, or your relationship with your longtime best friend that you never want to lose.
Yeah.
Things like that, right? Or how to... anyways, I just think it applies. But, in terms of the acts of service, like little things like that, if you don't... First of all, you can't necessarily hate your partner if you don't, like, communicate, like, your needs.
Yeah.
In the right way, because I know in the past what I've done, and I've done it in my current relationship as well. That's why I'm so happy I've stumbled across this, is that instead of like maybe not sitting him down, but like having a conversation maybe over dinner and saying, hey, like, I've realized the older I get, the more relationships I'm in, like, this is very important to me. And expressing that, being honest, making sure that like they're hearing it in the way that you're meaning to deliver it. Instead, when that doesn't happen, it can come out in bitching. You know what I mean? So like, let's say it's true. Want him to take the garbage out and stuff. Like, oh my God, like, have you not taken the garbage out?
But like, how would he know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, that's just like, that's a small example, because like the world is much greater than taking out the garbage. But in that way of not like, you could say, why don't you ever tell me you love me? Like, you used to always tell me, and now you never tell me. And like, do you even love me? Or just like, hey, I know we've been together for a long time now, so you inherently think I just know this, but it's still very important for me to be reminded and stuff. So as we all know, communication is so important in everything. But yeah, just like really understanding like what that person wants, and it's probably not ridiculous, like demands.
No.
So acts of service is a big one for you?
I would say so. And I feel like even based off of what you've told me, you know, it's clearly a big thing for you. But it sounds like your partner does do that for you. Like tell the listeners and, you know, viewers about the story about you going to... Like, what story is she going to tell?
I don't know.
I always love doing this to you. I was like, where are you going with this?
There's like no warning.
No, there's no warning. And I just like go with it. And then I prolong me getting to the point.
Oh, this is so true.
The listeners have
what
known this
What do you have for me?
When you went to the UK and you came back and he had done something for you.
Oh, yeah. I'm dating the most amazing person. But, yeah, he's really big on acts of service. If we're going to speak love language terms.
Yeah.
There's been a few times. I've gone away overseas 3 times in the almost year we've been dating.
Really? Where?
Jamaica for my dad's retirement.
Oh, I don't remember that trip.
January.
Oh, so it's just when we started the podcast.
Well, give or take, yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, I just went to England. Oh, sorry, 2 overseas trips. Ottawa for Christmas, so we've only been together for like a couple months. Anyways, he's just really on the ball when I go away, making sure like he's done some stuff for me because we live together. I've said that, you know that, but just reiterating. I mean, the first time I went away, I love lights, like especially in the wintertime, like in the house. He had strung like a bunch of lights all over the living room and just made the house really like clean and nice and ready. And there was flowers, and we'd only been together like a very short amount of time.
So cute.
And he did similar things when I came back from Jamaica, just little things I had said I wanted done like around the house. He did them. Meanwhile, he's not on vacation. He's still working full time.
Yeah.
But this last time, we had like this extra room in our house, and I really wanted to like use it for something. And I thought, like, what about this is kind of like my room to get ready, like have like my shoes and my clothes.
Because you're such like a quote unquote girly girl.
Yeah, I have my girly girl moments.
You have your moments.
I mean, I wear black all the time, but I do like my products and my makeup.
And you like having your own space while you get ready, which I've realized today.
Yes. See, that's why this room is built. That's how.
Hey, it's love language. We're like talking to each other about it, right?
See, love languages work in many different relationships. But yeah, no, I kind of said I'd love this room for just a place where like I have my stuff and you know like a full length mirror. I can just basically walk in this room after a shower and walk out ready to get in my car for work.
Aww.
So we did that, you know, and we have animals, so we weren't using this one couch because it had lied on it for so long. So he just like as a big couch, like stripped everything and washed everything, which took a long time, and he completely cleared off our porch. Like he just did a lot of these things after working a really long like day at work. So just little things like that. I always come home to flowers and like a nice note. And him and I are not perfect, obviously no couple is, but when someone puts in that kind of effort, it's so humbling, and it's just such a nice feeling to be like, wow, I'm really heard. Like, I'm really heard. Instead of, you know, dropping hints about some things I'd want and then coming home and nothing being done.
Well, I think that's important. And before we go into the third love language on this list, is what's interesting about that story is that you made it clear to your partner the things that you wanted kind of done while you were gone, like writing out a list or
and I'm not like this horrible girlfriend that's like, these are my things and you gotta do them.
But you just like said, like, here are some things that it would be nice to come home to, and
they
things
were
are
all done.
And like, in all fairness to what you're saying about, oh well, he was still working and blah blah blah, which is true, but all the time that he wasn't hanging out with you doing things, he could be working on the list.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that it's good that you kind of made it apparent that this is something that would mean a lot to you. Of course, you don't have to do it, but like it probably just made you two stronger.
Oh yeah,
the fact that he did.
It was amazing, and he was so excited to show me.
That's so cute.
Oh, it was very, very wonderful. It was romantic and it was sincere, and I was very thankful and appreciative. I still am.
Well, who out there gonna do this for me?
Come on, guys, hit us up. There are men out there that want to make you a getting ready room.
Yeah. I don't know if I want...
In theory, you know what I mean?
don't know if I want a getting ready room.
I don't think you need a getting ready room.
Yeah. What's that mean?
No, I didn't mean it in a horrible way. I just meant like you would probably want something else.
Yeah, something else. Like, I'm trying to think what it would be.
Ryan Durgy would want a snack room.
Wow.
Like,
no, I would.
Organized.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I like how the first thing you make my boyfriend do is make an effing snack room. Like, he just makes a snack room. Like, I was thinking something cute like a gazebo outside or something. A snack room. With all of your cookies organized. Like, well, thanks, Katie.
Oh,
a snack room.
Moving on.
Okay.
Okay, we both agreed. Like, sure, but definitely not a love language. Receiving gifts.
Receiving gifts is the third love language, right?
Yeah.
And you and I both agreed that this isn't something that's like super important to us.
No, not at all. I mean, hey, it's my birthday or it's Christmas.
Yeah,
and
do something cute.
Yeah, you've thought like, hey, she's brought up that she needs this. I think she'd really like this.
Yeah.
That's great. I'll take that. But I don't need gifts in order to feel loved.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to, like, flowers are fine. Like, I like flowers, but flowers die. Like, for me, I would love, like, coming home and, like, there being, like, a little handwritten note in, like, a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Because I was saying last night I was craving chocolate. And
because it shows that you're listening.
Yeah, but I don't need a new, like, necklace or things like that.
No, me either. I can buy my own necklace. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And it just doesn't mean, like, for me, I would rather spend quality time with you while we do something that we like together than, like, oh, I bought you, like, a pretty earrings. Like,
you can't make up for something that's missing in a relationship with gifts, in my opinion. I mean, I guess you could for a while because someone may just...
My love don't cost a thing when you roll up in the Escalade.
Okay, we don't want to get a copyright strike.
Oh, okay. To the valet.
But you know what I mean? I guess for a while it can last because if you're someone that's really into gifts, maybe... You know what? Sorry, I take that back. Because if someone has this as their love language, you probably could. It would work. But I feel like for you and I...
Yeah, it's not applicable to us. And that's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Nobody should be embarrassed to say, I need to be told I'm loved all the time, or I really feel valued when I'm giving gifts.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Yeah.
I
be
do
true to yourself.
Like gifts.
Yeah.
That can be a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
That, or depending on your wealth or your status or anything, but I like spontaneous presents.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed of it.
Yeah.
If you expect beautiful, expensive things every week and that's not your financial situation, then that's when it's time to reevaluate.
Exactly.
But that's, I think, a message I'm really trying to, like, hammer home in this is don't feel embarrassed if one or all five are who you are.
Yeah.
I think, personally, that you can't have all five having equal value. I think if you were to really sit down with yourself and be like, okay, yes, all of these apply to me. But what's really... the root of it, like what really is going to put that smile on my face or feel that genuine love.
Have we gotten to the root of it for you yet or not yet in the languages? Like, have we gotten to the one that's like your main love language or not yet? Well, it's the one
I keep using as an example, so probably.
Which is what?
The words of affirmation.
Yeah. I feel like that's mine too.
And quality time, which is my next one, which is the next one.
Really? Okay,
And then you're the fifth one.
Okay,
too.
Well, here, we'll tease it out and people will have to wait and see which one that is.
Okay, so the fourth
one out of five
is quality time. Now, in the article that I was reading, one of the bullet points of this is like undivided attention, like no cell phones, like maybe like a walk in a park or just like total like one-on-one.
Okay.
For me, that's not like obviously I don't want us to be on our phones the whole time because I'm not like that anyways.
Yeah.
But I don't think it necessarily has to be undivided, but like quality time is a huge one for me. And for example, what my boyfriend does, Sunday is the only day of the week where he doesn't work. He still has a bit of work in the morning and a bit of work in the late afternoon. But that's the only day of the week where, hey, we can go grocery shopping like together or just lie on the couch and do nothing
and watch a show.
Yeah, and so that for me, so I make it very apparent to my friends.
Yeah, she's made it apparent to me. I've been like, hey, like, can we record on Sunday? That's the only day it works, and Sunday is her day with her partner.
I don't get me wrong. Jeff and I have done things with other people. Like it's not like it's just Jeff and I. Like, oh, I shouldn't be. Sorry, babe. But it's like
she said his name before in other episodes.
But it's not that thing like it's just our day. Like we need our quality time. Like sometimes we'll go to the local pub and sit with a bunch of the regulars and stuff. But it's like I need to make sure that I'm not working, that I don't have like pre-planned plans. Yeah. I need to spend time with my boyfriend on this day. What we do, I'm open to. Yeah. But I'm not going out of town that day, and I'm not working that day because quality time. It's huge for me. Yeah. And he's more like, you got to do what you got to do. If you got to work, you got to work. Yeah. Because he's just more of a realist that way. But for me, it's like, no, because if I don't get that Sunday with you, then we go a whole nother week of, obviously you don't see each other in the day. Most adults don't. You're at work. Yeah. But he'll work a lot later, and it's like I said before, especially some of the seasons. So it's like, and I don't get a Saturday afternoon with him either because he's working. So no, Sunday, quality time, whatever we do, but it's us two.
Yeah, and I feel like for this one, it is important. I think in any relationship, you got to have some of this, but this isn't my main one because I also get that like both of us can be busy.
And you're also very independent. Yeah,
I do think that if we're both busy, though, we need to find that time to hang out. For sure.
Well, absolutely.
But I'm just saying that there are other things, and some of the other things just come with spending time with each other. So I feel like they link together, but like affirmation so far on this list is the biggest thing. Acts of service is up there too, but I think the next one is going to be one that...
So number 5 on 5 love languages.
With nothing on the chalkboard.
Put that on our reminders chalk. I'm going to bring this thing everywhere.
Katie's holding up a chalkboard, but there's nothing written on it.
She says, I love girls.
Oh, well.
It's from a long time ago.
Or it was 8-year-old me trying to show that I wasn't in the closet, but I was in the
love
closet.
them.
I love them. I love them. I love them.
He doesn't.
Oh.
Not that way.
Not that way. Not that way.
Okay, so the last one is physical touch.
Yeah.
I think that's broad. Does that mean a healthy active sex life? Or does that mean kind of like, no? Or does that mean holding hands, kissing, arm around?
I think that's more what it means. I mean, it could be the sex life, but I feel like that's just something that's important in most relationships.
Anyways, so it's just
I think it's more like the maybe like the grace of the back, your lower back, or like touching your neck or kissing your neck while you're cooking, or like I think it's more the little acts of like touching, because I feel like maybe some people aren't, and maybe some people only touch when they have sex. Like, no, I definitely need.
And that's when you need to talk to your partner if they don't do that kind of stuff and be like, this is very important to me. I gotta go back to hand holding. I'm a big hand holder. Yeah. Like if I'm walking from the car to somewhere, I'd like to be holding your hand. And I don't ever want to feel like if I'm holding your hand, you're not wanting to do that back.
But I'm not a PDA person, because I'm the same. I like to hold hands. I think you're more of a PDA person, but I don't really want to like
public displays of affection.
I don't want to be like making out on the subway. Or like making out, like even at a restaurant. We don't have to kiss at the restaurant, but I would like to hold your hand across the table.
Oh, I like a smooch. I like a little smooch of affirmation.
At the table.
Like, with all these people around? Full on make out, but like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Watching the hockey game.
I'm like way more PG in person. Like now, not out there in public. It's a different story. Yeah. But like, in public, no. Like holding hands, that's probably, if they're leaving, like if you guys are separating after a night out and you're going your one way and they're going the other way, then I kiss. Yeah. Maybe a bit of a makeout, but like at a restaurant or something. Yeah. But like, it would be like.
Oh yeah. No, you don't want to be that couple that's like necking. And it's like, I remember this one place that I worked, the bar was kind of like, it was an L shape. And they would have been all the way at the tip of the L, the corner kind of thing. And this couple must have made out for about 2 hours. And behind them was like a big banquet table, which like this big party had reserved. Yeah. And they're just looking at this. And it was just, that nobody, I don't care how flippant in love you are, nobody wants to see that. Yeah. Nobody.
I had one guy where like, at first he didn't want to sit on the same side of the booth, which is fine. Like usually you sit across from each other, but then like he wanted me to come on the other side of the booth where we're both sitting on the same side of the booth. And I was like, this is weird. Yeah, it's like you're right beside them and it's like, hi.
How are you? Yeah. How's your salmon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I think out of this list, I think that we should name our top 3. Okay. I think that my top 3 would be affirmation. I feel like my next one would probably be physical touch. Because I do think that and I'm not saying PDA, but I'm saying like just to show that you are attracted to me, And then I think definitely a close third, almost second, would be the acts of service. Yeah. For me.
I get that. We're almost bang on. Words of affirmation. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I know you love me. Yeah. I also need to be told that.
Reminded, yeah.
It's not even reminded because I haven't lost sight of it. Okay. If I was losing sight of it, then we have a whole different situation. Okay. So I don't have to be reminded. I just like to be told, like, just even call me just to tell me you love me.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Acts of service and quality time for me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Quality of time. Okay. Yeah.
So, but yeah, acts of service in the sense of I will do everything that I can, the little things that I know will make you happy. And if you do that back for me, we're going to have a solid foundation of like love, because you do good things to the people that you love.
Interesting. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks, Katie, for explaining the 5 languages of love. We would love to hear what love language is yours for our listeners and viewers.
Or if there's anything else that you think is a big part that could be a love language.
Yeah, maybe there's something that's missing.
Up.
Yeah, that'd be great. So DM us. We're on Instagram, Is This Adulthood? And we're also on Twitter, ITA_podcast.
Ooh.
And let us know what you think. My Instagram is at Ryan Durgy, RyanDurgy, and Twitter is the same.
My Twitter is 01 Katie Jones, and my Instagram is KTEE Jones.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And show your love language.
Aww.
And ask what their love language is too.
If you're in a relationship and if you're not, practice with your friends. Maybe not the physical touch thing, but
or maybe.
Well, that's a whole other conversation.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye, love you.
Love you.